Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this is kind of a follow-up to a video I did last week on some of my covers albums. It's also a follow-up to the last David Bowie video I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show my 20 favourite David Bowie cover versions. Now as you all probably know, Bowie is my favourite artist of all time. I think he's the best songwriter of all time. He wins. Full stop. So but he's also covered quite a few songs, and I think he's officially released between 40 and 50 cover versions. So I thought I would run through my favourite 20 cover versions and I'll also tell you who the original artist was. So starting at number 20, and I have to show a CD for this, and it's Hard to Be a Saint in the City, the Bruce Springsteen song, which was originally on the Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. It originally featured on the Ryko version of this Sound & Vision box set. This is a cheapy reissue, it's the only one I have, and it's really good. I think it was recorded around Station to Station time, even though some say it was started around the Young Americans, but I think it's got more of a Station to Station feel to it. It is actually very faithful to the original. I just think it's a really good version, so it gets number 20. Number 19, and this album will be shown quite a bit, and it's from Pinups, and it's the second song, side 1, Here Comes the Night. Not written by Van Morrison. I'm not too sure who it was written by, but it was a big hit for them back in the mid-60s, and again it's quite a faithful version, but I love his vocals in this. I think his vocals are excellent, so it gets number 19. Number 18, and Tin Machine doing John Lennon's Working Class Hero. Now a lot of people hate this because this is completely different. They turn it into a rock song really, and I think it works really well. No, I do like John Lennon's acoustic version, but there's something about this, I think it's great, and he lets rip with vocals again, so it gets my number 18. Number 17, and it's a little bit of a cheat this because he's actually supplying vocals on another artist's work, and this is Mick Ronson's Heaven and Hell album, but David provides full lead vocals on Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, and this was released posthumously. I think it was released in 1994. Mick Ronson passed away in 93, and I think this was recorded around 1990-91. But yeah, it's a real good rock version of Bob Dylan's classic. Now, a lot of this is to do with Mick Ronson's guitar work, which I think is fantastic on it, but I think David Bowie provides excellent vocals, and you would think it was him just covering it, but it's a brilliant song, and it gets number 17. Number 16, and I'm going to give it to Arnold Lane, which was a live version of the Pink Floyd song. It was Dave Gilmour concert. Well, it's going a bit yellow here. That's better. Yeah, you can see a video for this. He does it really well. His vocals are fantastic. It's just a really good song, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So Arnold Lane gets my number 16. Number 15, and another CD. And this is the concert for New York City, and I think this is to benefit the Robin Hood Relief Fund. Yeah, he does Simon & Garfunkel's America. In fact, it opens the whole show, and it's very stripped back. It's not as good as Simon & Garfunkel's own version because it's an absolute Stonewall classic, but there's something hypnotic about this. It's very basic. There's almost a synthesizer loop in a sort of a waltz time, and I think it's excellent, and he performs this just sitting on the stage, and then once it's over he goes into Heroes. So America, the Simon Garfunkel song, gets my number 15. Number 14, and we go back to Pinups again, and he does a sterling version of Friday on My Mind by the Easy Beats. Yeah, it's not all that different from the original, but I just think it's really, really good, and it opens up side 2. Number 13, and maybe a surprise for the Bowie fans, but I love this version. Now, this is the Loving the Alien single. On the B side of it is the song Don't Look Down, which was featured originally on Iggy Pop's New Values. I love Iggy Pop's version as well, but there's something about this, he really does strip it down into a very, very lazy type reggae sound. It's almost elevator type music, but I've always loved it, and it's probably my favourite song off the Tonight album. So Don't Look Now, Don't Look Down, I keep on saying Don't Look Now, Don't Look Down gets my number 13. Number 12, and another live version, and this was a top 10 hit, and this is Knock on Wood from David Live, and this is fantastic. The old Eddie Floyd song. Yep, got to number 10 in 1974. Just a really good version. Love his vocals on it. Just, I love the David Live album. So it gets number 12. Number 11, and the big hit that was a cover version, and that is Sorrow from Pinups. I thought I'd just show the picture disc this time. And this was originally done by the McCoys, even though I think it's the Mersey's version that he's covered. But again, the saxophone in this is amazing, and it's just a brilliant song. It deserved to get to number 3 in the charts. Okay, into the top 10. I mean, number 10 might be a little bit of a surprise, but I absolutely love this. Some people don't like it at all. Some actually think it spoils the album. But it's from Hunky Dory, and it's the song Fill Your Heart, originally by Biff Rose. Now, I'd never heard Biff Rose's version until a few nights ago, where I YouTubed it, and it's hard to tell the difference between the two. You almost think they're the same recording. I just think this is so uplifting. It's by far nowhere near the worst song on this album. Like, it's much better than the Bewley Brothers, and it's much better than Andy Warhol. And I just, as I say, it's an uplifting little number. And originally the song Bombers was supposed to be included instead of Fill Your Heart, but no, Fill Your Heart is the better song. Although Bombers is not a bad song either, but this works much better. At number 9, and the Pixies, Pablo Picasso, which featured on Reality, and This Is Weird, and I was so disappointed to find out that he didn't write this song, because I thought, yes, he's really back, but it's a cover version of the Pixies song. I've heard the Pixies version, I prefer Bowie's, but I'm more used to it, but it's an absolutely brilliant song. At number 8, and here we go back to Pinups again, and I'm going to give it to the opener, Rosalind, which was a single by the Pretty Things. I love the guitar in this. It almost sounds muffled, the guitar, but it works so well. It's a fantastic opener, and especially when it goes into Here Comes the Night as well. You really need to hear those two songs together. So Rosalind gets my number 8. Number 7, and this is from the most recent David Live, the 2005 mix. Well, this may be remixed again since that, but it's Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, which first came out as a bonus track on the Ryko CDs in the very early 90s, and it's a song by the Ohio Players, which I think is magnificent. I don't know why it was never actually released, even as a single. It doesn't have to be on the album, because it sounds more like a soundcheck song than an actual live recording. But really good version. So, and the Ohio's version is brilliant as well. So Here Today, Gone Tomorrow gets my number 7. Number 6, and we go back to Pinups again, and it's Pink Floyd's See Emily Play, and he makes this song his own. He does. It is quite similar to the Pink Floyd version, but the chorus and the way he deepens his voice and changes his voice, he makes it his own. And especially coming near the end of the song where it goes all over the place, I just think it's a fantastic version. So it gets number 6. At number 5, and if you had asked me 25 years ago, I would say this wouldn't even be in the top 30 of his covers, because I hated it, but I absolutely love it now, and it's his version of Let's Spend the Night Together from Aladdin Sane. Now, I do love the Stones version, but now I think I actually prefer David Bowie's version. It's like two different songs now, so it is. I always found it weird the way he sang Let's Spend the Night Together rather than the way the Stones sang it, and it always sounded as if it was slightly wrong. But this song is absolutely bonkers, and he adds a little bit on his own as well with his own lyrics. I think it's magnificent, I really do, and this was a single I think in Holland or somewhere like that there, and quite rightly so. Brilliant song, brilliant version. At number 4, and it's Wild as the Wind, which was originally done by Johnny Mathis, but I think it was probably Nina Simone where I first heard it. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. The last song on Station to Station, and it became a reasonable hit in 1981, 5 years later after it was originally released. It was actually released to promote changes to Bowie, and I think it got to number 22 or 23 or something like that there. Great song, and it gets number 4. Number 3, and I'm going to give it to Tom Verlaine's Kingdom Come. Now this is a cool single. That's the Bowie version there, and that's the Tom Verlaine version there, and this featured on his Scary Monsters album, and his vocals are magnificent in this. It's a really good song to start with, and then I just think he makes it into an excellent song with his vocals. His Scary Monsters vocals are probably one of his best vocals on any of his albums apart from Diamond Dogs. But yeah, this gets number 3, absolutely brilliant song. Number 2, and I was and I wasn't. I was going to put this at number 1, but I'm going to be honest and put it at number 2, and it's John Lennon's Across the Universe. It's a completely different song to the Let It Be song. I love the both of them. I can't compare them because to me they're two different songs. But again, his vocals, he gives everything in this, especially the ending of it as well. Whenever he's saying nothing's going to change it, nothing's going to change it, it's just really, really good, really soulful, and I love it. And apparently Lennon plays a bit of guitar in this. You can't hear it, but he's on there. So that gets number 2. And I think my favourite cover version that David Bowie has done, and we're going back to Pinups again, and it's his version of the Who's I Can't Explain. Now I do like the bouncy Who single. That was their first single as the Who, and it's a great song, but he slows this down, he turns this into a real seedy romp really, and there's loads of gorgeous sax on this. It's just so brilliant. I love it. It's the last song on side 1, and he actually performed this during the Serious Moonlight tour, and he performed it, I believe, if I can remember right, whenever I saw him live back in 1983. So Bowie's version of I Can't Explain, magnificent, and I guess my number 1. Okay, so that's my top 20 David Bowie cover versions. Just adding on to my David Bowie videos. I felt as if I haven't done enough Bowie because he is my number 1, and other artists have seemed to have got more from me, but I'm building up my Bowie playlist really. Anyway, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.